Beautiful moonrise. Oh, and then the rain. Thanks for joining me today. This is Danny, and welcome back to my FTB Infinity world. Today I have a little bit of a surprise for you. However, if you have been following my if you've been following my Deep Dark Survival series, then you already know about the surprise, and this will not be a surprise for you. But today's episode is going to be all about the Deep Dark, and let's go there now. So again, if you haven't been following my Deep Dark series, then this is not new. Then this is new to you, because I've recently crossed over these series, and if you've just been following this series, then this building looks totally new to you, and you've never seen it before, and you might be wondering, well, where the heck did this come from? This is a building that I built in my Deep Dark Survival series. My Deep Dark Survival series is a series where I had attempted to survive in the Deep Dark from the beginning. So I spawned in a bedrock box that had nothing in it but a portal to the Deep Dark. And as you can see, I survived. And I thrived a little bit. So I built this fortress. And then I decided that I was going to move this fortress into my FTP Infinity world because I want to combine these two series. Because I got to a point in that series where I was going to be starting to do a lot of the same stuff that I already did in the FTP Infinity series. And plus, I needed to make room for a new series. I needed to make some time for a new series where I'm going to be playing on a Forgecraft server with some other YouTubers and content creators, which you may have already seen that video. We're going to be building a quantum ring under this floor to allow us to have access to our ME system back at home, so that we'll have access to all of our stuff while we are doing a build today. And the build that we're going to be doing today involves landscaping. We're going to be building a dark forest out here. So I've had this idea in my head for a while of trying to build a forest that has kind of a realistic look to it, with some bigger trees and some smaller trees and some underbrush and some real thick areas that you can't really pass through. Instead of like the typical Minecraft forest, kind of looks like something you'd see in a park or something. Where your trees are all kind of nice and evenly spaced, and the ground is all grassy, and you can walk through it very easily. Well, what I plan on doing is building a dark forest out here that's very thick in some areas, that has some underbrush, that has some fallen trees, and maybe some like marshy looking or mossy looking stuff, mushrooms and things like that. And then I'm gonna have some like trails going through it. I'm gonna have some little trails, maybe using the trodden dirt from Botania. Sorry, using trodden dirt from Botania, and the trail is going to be kind of lit up, but the rest of the forest is going to be all dark. Now this is going to be a little tricky to build because, of course, when you're in the Deep Dark, the dark hurts you. So we may have to kind of have it lit up while we're building, and then when we're done building, we're going to kind of darken it. And since we have a magnum torch here, we won't have to worry too much about mobs spawning in the forest. But if this forest happens to expand beyond the range of our there's a lot of nodes out here. Beyond the range of our magnum torch, we may get some mobs out there, and that's okay. I don't mind if we get some mobs spawning in the forest, because it's kind of meant to be kind of a deep, dark, ominous woods. And we're fully protected here. We've got our fortress. It is a fortress after all, right? But we've also got these shields, these shield blocks right here. If I set it to shield, you can see there's a shield here that I actually have set to invisible that I can pass through. but nothing else can, or no other entities. Other players can pass through it, but of course I'm the only player here usually, except when Tristan joins me. So anyway, to make a long story short, we're totally safe here. We don't have to worry about mobs getting into our base. So we're just gonna try some stuff out, try to make some small trees. I'm gonna actually use microblocks to basically build trees, and it might take a little while, at least for me. For you, it won't. It will only take a maximum of a half hour, of whatever the length of this episode is. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. This is something I've been kind of wanting to do in Minecraft for a really long time, to make just kind of a realistic looking forest. So one of the first things we're gonna have to do is get some grass down here, and I'm actually thinking about making an exchanger. This guy, probably the resident exchanger. It's kind of expensive, but it's nothing that we can't handle, really. I mean, in fact, pretty much all the stuff we're able to auto-craft right now. So, and what this guy does is it allows us to replace blocks. So if we have, a bunch of grass blocks in our inventory, and we can tell it, we basically shift right-click on a grass block with it, and then we right-click here, and it'll replace all these with grass blocks. Whoops! It'll take the grass blocks out of our inventory, replace them, and then it'll pull the cobblestone into our inventory. So it'll basically swap the positions. So that'll make this a little easier. Of course, the other alternative is just to use. We can destroy a 9x9 area of blocks with our Draconic Staff of Power, and then we can use our Builder's Wand to quickly replace them. But I don't know. This would just be cooler. So anyway. So we're going to do the quantum rings, then we're going to create the exchanger, and then we're going to start building this dark forest. That's the plan for today. So we can actually just use our enhanced charm of dislocation. However, it's more fun to go like this. Already auto-craft, because we've done this before. We did this when we created our little vacation house. So we're going to need 16 of these, 8 on each side. We've got more than enough resources for it. Then we also need to make 2 of these ME quantum link chambers, which we do not have auto-crafted, which is fine because we only need 2 of those, and we don't really make these all that often. Oh boy. While we're waiting for that stuff, I have got myself a singularity and a piece of ender dust. We're going to do a big bang. I created my singularity in the matter condenser. So we throw this singularity down with a piece of ender dust, and it has to be the applied energistics ender dust. You cannot use the portal gun ender dust or whatever it's called. We'll let that blow up, and we can actually do this with a tiny TNT. But then what we end up with is a pair of quantum entangled singularities. These 2 things are linked together. So whenever you do that little thing that we just did, it ends up combining the 2 together. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename them so that we remember which goes with which. So we'll call it the deep dark singularity. So we've already got one of these guys down here already, and this is the one that goes to our vacation house. So I'm just going to put up another one right next to it. The only thing is I kind of want it to have its own set of channels. Quantum link chamber in the middle. And there we have our multi-block structure. So now we've got to get our channels to it. I'll do that off camera, but basically I'm going to put a dense ME cable running into this guy, and then we take one of these singularities, quantum entangled singularities, and we stick it on this end, and then we're going to do the exact same thing in the deep dark and put the other singularity in that one. Looks a little silly somehow, but anyway, okay, so we're just going to stick the energy cell right here for now. just to get this thing powered, and now we should be good. Yay! Awesome, we have access to everything, and we can actually get rid of this now. And we should be able to use our wireless. Yep, we shift, right click. Why is it not working? Oh, because we have no grass in our inventory, duh. Alright, let's grab... Wait, let's organize our inventory a little bit. Grab a bunch of stacks of grass. Or did we grab all of it? I think we just grabbed all of our grass. But that's okay, we can always get more. So you do have to have it in your inventory. And now let's see, it replaces it with cobblestone. Oops. That's nice. So much nicer than having to tear everything down and then replace it. Crank this guy up to a 9x9 size so that I can... No! Somehow I must have been holding it down too long because it did it twice, but I have to click really fast. See? So I can get rid of all these bumps. Oh, son of a fart. I'm gonna have to slow this thing down. Take speed multiplier. Let's bring it down to about 0.5. And now it's too slow. Whee! Nice. Ready to start planting some trees. That was some hungry work. I've got a bunch of saplings. I just ran around the world a little. I got some leaves too. I ran around the world a little bit before I started recording today, and just grabbed some saplings that I didn't have. Do I have any torches in here? I have one. I'll make a couple of these and cut them down so that we can get. Ooh, that's a nice one. It's coming down though. Ah. There. Now we got a nice tall one. Cool. So we can get rid of this. So I'm going to start by kind of making the larger trees, just kind of interspersed throughout. Start with the dark oaks. Trying to get some somewhat unusual and strange shapes by, well, you saw what I did with that one. And then this one, let's see, if we go like this, maybe on a couple sides. Oops. Let's see what we get. Right, it's kind of interesting. What the heck? What? Not sure how dark and ominous a willow will look, but we'll give it a try here. Ooh, Oh, I like that. Ooh, a huge one. Nice. Alright, I'm gonna start building my own little microblock trees. Nice. Got some fallen stuff here. We've got a standing dead, just like you would see in a normal forest, like in a real forest. It's cool that the microblocks actually keep the pattern on all four sides. That's nice. And that one's kind of half dead. This one might have a little bit of vegetation up there. I can't forget to bone meal the grass too. A lot of this stuff everywhere pretty much. Not so much for a cluster of young saplings. Or seedlings, actually, they would be. Alright, here we are in our Botania room. Because I want some ferns, and I have this alchemy catalyst under my mana pool. That means I can grab some grass, drop it in there, and get ferns. Nice. I've got some little seedlings over here. I've got a lot of down trees, mostly birch, because you see a lot of that. You see a lot of down birch, in at least in the northern woods, the northern upper Midwest. Some moss stone, some little just chunks of wood laying on the ground, and some smaller trees. And then there's a standing dead. I think I showed you that already. So I'm gonna put a bunch of ferns out here too instead of grass, because you do tend to see a lot of ferns in the woods because they are shade. They're shade tolerant, so you see them a lot in the shaded areas like this. What the heck happened here? Oh, darn it. Sorry, little guy. Oh man, a zombie came over here and I hit him with my Draconic Staff of Power, which has a 25 by 25 attack radius, and I think it killed the villager too. And now I have a villager soul, it looks like. Oh yeah, it spawned him. Probably, I wonder if it's the same one. Nope. It's not the one I want. He's gonna end up in the smeltery. So anyway, I've made quite a bit of progress out here. I've got a nice thick forest with some good undergrowth and a few patches where, kind of like what you would expect in the real world, a tree dies, it opens up the canopy, and then you get a bunch of smaller trees growing in its place. I'm going to do a lot more of that, a lot more underbrush kind of stuff, but I just spent a little bit of time running around in the overworld collecting some things I thought would be kind of neat here. We've got some dead leaf piles, which we could put like at the base of some of these larger trees. And let's see what else. We've got some regular old leaf piles, which are still green, which we can also put at the base of trees. This is, most of the stuff is Biomes of Plenty. Goldenrod, I wasn't sure how this would look here, but I think it would definitely look better than the poppies, so let's, it's okay. It's not too bad. Maybe in the more open areas like this. I'd like to get rid of a lot of those poppies, but we'll do that as we go. I have kind of a cluster of them here, a little more random though. Yeah, that could work. Moss. This stuff grows a little bit like I believe it spreads kind of like vines do, so I'm hoping. So I'm going to try this out, stick the moss in a few places here and there, and hope that it kind of spreads down some of these trees. Let's say over here we've got some dead wood laying on the ground. And we might have some of these mushrooms growing. Oh, how do you plant them? You can't plant them on the wood? What? But that's where I got them. I got them off of logs that were laying. Let's see. Maybe it only works on oak wood? I don't know. A lot of this stuff doesn't work with acacia wood. What? That is not acacia wood. That is dark oak. What the heck? Oh, there we go. Okay. Now, let's see. There we go. And we might have some growing on the ground nearby it too, along with some dead leaves here and there. Yeah. Yeah, it kind of works. It's almost a little too colorful. No, that's not bad. Okay. I got this river cane too. I'm not sure. Now the ivy kind of acts like vines, I believe. And actually, it is a vine in real life. So I'm going to just kind of scatter stuff like that around and make things look a little bit even more wild in here. And then we're going to start working on our little trail. And what I'm going to do, I have to try to figure out how I'm going to transition from, I'm going to have a trail kind of going into the dark forest, maybe coming out the other side, maybe looping around. I don't know. It could be a loop trail. It'd be like a little hiking trail. And I'm going to light up the trail. I'm going to get rid of all the torches except for the ones on the trail. Figure out some way to kind of transition from this like structured stuff here out into kind of a wild, meandering trail. So I kind of figure out, I think, how I'm going to separate this area from that area. And it kind of led to a whole a whole nother project. So I've got the startings of a river kind of cutting through here, or a little stream, I guess. The only thing is, where would water come from? Because the land is all flat here, it's hard to come up with a water source. So here's what I decided. I mean, it's because, you know, water flows downhill, but there's no hills. So it doesn't look as cool as I thought it would, though. Actually, I like it better now that it's dark up there. It's just a mysterious source of water. It's time to make it dark. But first, let's take a walk down our little trail. I've got the trodden dirt from Botania. I'm also using some coarse dirt in a few places. Some leaves and some moss stone. We've got our dead birch area over here. I should probably have something in there. So we've got a little loop trail here. This is the birch section. And there's one really tall birch. Oh no, it lost its things. Crazy. Good thing I have some willow leaves. These are willow trees. Did I say birch? I meant willow. So they're weeping willows, so they have the have these things hanging down. This one did before. I don't know what happened to them. Added some young maple trees over there. Some young red maples that are trying to take hold in the oak forest. That ivy is really spreading like crazy. It's even spreading across places where I didn't put it, so that's kind of interesting. There we go. Oh, that's awesome. I love it. Alright, now we can light up the trail. Here's the view from up in the tower. It looks pretty cool from up here. I like it. Are you ready to take a walk in the deep dark woods? Hey, what happened here? Oh, darn it. Oh well. Here it is. Here's the dark forest. The deep dark forest. With a trail that's slightly lit. You know what? Let's just take these off so that we can walk normal through here. Nice. I really like this. This is exactly what I wanted. Nice. If we put a light here. Yeah, and then get rid of this one. Yeah, that works. Alright. Cool, well that's it. That's the deep dark forest. So far anyway. I may do some more to it, but if you have any more ideas on other things that we can do around here to make this build more interesting, let me know. And I will consider your suggestions, of course. And speaking of suggestions, I did get a suggestion to start playing some Thaumcraft, and I've been reluctant to do it, and I'm not quite going to commit to it, but I am thinking about using floor number 3. I'm thinking about making that room a Thaumcraft room. So I have a challenge for you. If you are into Thaumcraft, I want you, because I've been fighting the idea of doing Thaumcraft for quite a while, like pretty much ever since I started playing modded Minecraft. And you know, the reason that I've been reluctant to do Thaumcraft is because it's a lot of freaking work. I just haven't seen anything compelling enough, anything that's so cool to make it worth all of that extra work. Yeah, so that's my challenge to you. If you have any ideas on any ideas to help convince me on why Thaumcraft is really cool and why it's worth spending all that time on it, I'll do it. I'll do it. Alright? So leave that in the comments below. And I hope you join me next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.